This is this has been a very long time. I'm recording this right as the last videos come out, but welcome back to Star Technology. This will be episode 8 of the series, and I have done a lot of improvements off camera. Let me show you all of them one by one. Oh, sorry. First off, Mark II reactors. You can see 3 of them going on there. I have no idea why that visual bug is there on the right hand side, but there it is. The bottom one's making Darmstadium, the middle one's making Americium, and the top one is making Tritanium. Tritanium being the main ingredient in UV parts and the ultimate voltage coil. Then in the left we have our classic Europium and one more for Duranium. Duranium is required for Tritanium. I will be making a lot more fusion reactors, but obviously there are things like bunching the two of them together that I will need to do later. Remember when I was telling you why I needed tetrafluoroethylene and before the polymerization step? It's for this, perfluoroelastomer. You don't need that much of it, which is why I have a super tank 1. The only use case is that it is twice as efficient as styrene butadiene in liquid form for assembler recipes, so coating wires and the like. There are other cases where you need it in higher tier conveyor parts, machine cover parts, but other than that it's as is. There's not much else to say. Then here, I have upped the distillation tiles to fractionating distilleries, largely because I kept missing out on nitrogen, but that's been partially solved by the ORPROC system, I think. I don't know, I need to check. I don't think it has. Anyway, the regular air one is stopped at, if I remember correctly, 8 parallels. The Nether air one is 2 parallels, and Ender Air keeps stopping occasionally even though I've upgraded it to ZPM. That being said, welcome to the new A2 space. I've done a bit of redecorating, and as you see, the CPUs are a lot beefier. 280 co-processors, 256 mil crafting storage. I won't run out of this, hopefully, but when I was preparing them, I've seen 20 mil crafting storage usage, so there's definitely a need for more. I'll probably upgrade them to use 16 256 M crafting storages, but I will plan that for later. And finally, what took the longest? Tritanium. I have Tritanium coils, as you can see on my EBFs, maintenance hatches, which, if I can just show you, take UV robot arms, which take Tritanium, a lot of Tritanium. So it was a massive hassle to wait for just 8, but it should be fine now. Also, if you notice, there are new machines, because this is a sterile clean room now. And I have a processing chain down there for sterilized growth medium and stem cells. Let me walk you through this. We have 4 aquatic entanglers in a pond catching fish. You can use aqua chow, but this is enough. Please do not use the Elite Fisher 2. Do not use this. Aquatic entanglers do not use string and always catch fish. The Elite Fisher uses the centralized loot pool, which includes random things. Don't use it, plus it requires string. If you've seen a certain someone's playthrough, he used polycarpolactum, but you just have molecular assemblers. This one's serving another purpose. Then we have this, a large macerator. In goes the fish, out goes mincemeat and some tiny piles of bone meal. This is set to flush out any mincemeat over 192 to a nullifier, because you get less bone meal than you do mincemeat. After that, you have a molecular assembler with a bone meal crafting recipe. Then, you see the laser connector up there. it's connected to another thing, which is here. This is for bioshaft, as you can see here. This is actually the slowest part because I'm getting bottlenecked by the compressor. It's 18 ticks, it's the slowest thing in this setup. Then this laser connector also connects to my sterile clean room. It's up here. First step, we have bone meal, mincemeat, and sulfuric acid. Forms collagen dust and diluted sulfuric acid, which I'm throwing away because I don't have the time to handle it later. And collagen dust goes in with water and phosphoric acid to make gelatin mixture. Then the gelatin mixture is piped in here and is used to centrifuge into some phosphorus, which can be recycled back to phosphoric acid and gelatin dust. The phosphorus goes into a hidden interface down here, and then the gelatin dust gets autoclaved with distilled water into agar. Meanwhile, we make the mutagen process, which is, if I remember correctly, here. Bioshaft and distilled water in the sterile clean room turns into bacteria. Then bacteria and biomass react to create bacterial sludge. That's the biomass. I can't pry this cover, I don't intend to anyway. Then the bacterial sludge combines with the tiny parts of the quadra dust that are being packed here down to make enriched bacterial sludge, which goes into here to make mutagen per bucket, as you can see. And the final step is here. Agar, mincemeat, calcium, salt, mutagen, all combine to make raw growth medium, which is then fluid heated for sterile growth medium, which I have stockpiled here. Now, there is a separate recipe that makes stem cells with sterilized growth medium, but it does take osmiridium. Osmiridium reacts in the chemical reactor with bacteria and SGM to make stem cells and extra bacterial sludge, so you can loop this again, but it's not required to. That is all this process does, and because you do not use stem cells this often, I've kept it at 2K. That is all the factory does, and I think I have caught you up to speed with everything. So, on to the contents of the video. Our first order of business: wetware stuff. With this, I can make data modules, but first of all, wetware circuit board. This should not take long. And we have petri dishes. I have it set up on my... Okay. I have it set up here. It's just a flute solidifier with PBI, and here it makes, I think, 8 at a time. But there it is, our wetware circuit board. 16 of them. Then we need the wetware printed circuit board. Cupric chloride. And that's the wetware printed circuit board. That should be the quest. Alright. Oh. Data module, neural processing unit. Let's first pick a neural processing unit. Where is it being made? Why does it take so long? What are you? It's 15 seconds at UV. Dear God. And after that, the main focus of this video, I haven't even encoded. Okay, great. This is amazing. We will craft the data module. How many do I need? No. Let me check the recipe. So I need it for this. You know what? Let's just make 6. I don't know, I just felt like it. But I forgot you need the sterile clean room. Oh no. There we go. That's UV energy hatch. Next up, the energy module. Alright, I've done all the preparations I need. You can see all the recipes I've encoded here. The thing that's capping me is gravity stars, but it's fine. We will solve that with more fusion. For now, wetware. Whoops. Stack of wetware processors. Next, it's... I will tell you why when we get to it. That's quite a bit. The reason why I need it is for this scan. Yes. Wetware processor supercomputers and up need to be made in an assembly line. Same for this. Oh, it's a data orb. Okay. It's fine, I still need the data module. Object holder, wetware processor assembly. That should be 60.8K. If I remember correctly, 64K. So what happens here is overclocks reduce the amount of CWUs required. Like, I think by 5%, similar to the coils. But yeah. So this will be really, really fast. There it is. I'll just put it in the data bank and encode the recipe. Then I will get back to you when it is done. I have all the recipes. Great. 64. 40k bytes. You know what, let's craft some silicone rubber first. Just to make sure I don't run into any conflicts. 64. Oh wait, sorry. 65, because I still need to scan one more. There we go, that's done. Wetware processor mainframe. But before I make this, I do want to speed up my fusion reactors. While doing that, I'll just research the fusion reactor Mark III about the same time actually. I will be making a lot of UV energy hatches, so wish me luck. It will take a lot of titanium, and I have not stockpiled much. UV energy hatch. Alright, let me go to everything for 64 UHV circuits. And there it is. There we are. I can't be bothered waiting for a stack, but let's make Fusion Reactor Computer Mark III's. I should have everything now. By the way, if you're wondering, it's because of Neutronium. Gravity stars take it, and I need it for the UV emitter, which is required for super parallel control hatches. Anyway, you can see that my fusion reactors are first being used to make faster europium and uranium, and that is because fusion reactors are capped by recipe tier. The Mark 1 is capped at LUV, while the Mark 3 is capped at UV. You can guess what the Mark 2 is capped to, but that's why we're doing this. Oh my god, it's been such a long time since I've been recording. It's the next day, IRL, mind you. Anyways, I have 4 fusion reactors on the opposite sides here. Has it stopped? No, it hasn't stopped, okay. I'll activate all of them, and they should all be doing Neutronium. Yep, all of them are doing Neutronium. I'm just making 4 reactors because each of them takes 22.5 seconds. So I should get an ingot of Neutronium every about 6 seconds. That should be enough. The problem though is, let me show you at the back, that I am using an LUV extractor to get liquid quadria, so it will bottleneck quite a bit. It's fine though. Maybe I'll upgrade it to UV, probably. Yeah, you know what, I'll do it then. I'll do it now. Alright, I'm back at my home base. Now that I have Neutronium, I can do this. 1 Gravistar. 1 Gravistar. I have no achievement for this, probably because I haven't unlocked it yet. Hold on. Yeah, I need a Neutronium ingot first, so let me go get that real quick. Neutronium ingot, Gravistar. Both are apparently incredibly heavy, but again, we're basing off the theoretical maximum strength of a Steve, so But anyways, I think the first thing I'm gonna do is upgrade all the tools here to these. They're unbreakable, they're magnetic, they're fine. So I'm going to get them. I'll see you when I do. Yep, there it is. An unbreakable wrench. And that should be a hammer. The only use, obviously, is silencing and other random recipes, but other than that, nothing. I don't need a soft mallet because this would be the strongest one in our current version. Unfortunately, EMI shows that the perfluoroelastomer rubber mallet is unbreakable when you look at the side tab here, but if you look at the crafting recipe, it actually has durability, so that's unfortunate. So I can get rid of my cobalt brass and red steel hammer. You both have done me very well, but you must go. Neutronium screwdriver. Yeah, maybe this color, I guess. I don't think it'll show up. Yeah, cause you see the overlay, but it's fine. What else do I need to make? Drill. Yeah, cause I'll probably need to explore soon. If you look at the quest book. Yeah, I am preempting. You need to go to the Nether. Then you need to travel to the end. I don't know whether I need to do anything in the end mining here, but I don't know whether I'll have any footage for this, but I did go into a creative test wall and check both of those out. They're pretty interesting, but yeah, this will probably be a pretty long grind. Oh well. It's a drill hit. And then you mash the two together, this recipe. There we go, Neutronium drill. Why am I still using my... okay. Yeah, then... huh, these two I can throw. You have served me well again, but bye. I don't need the two of you anymore. I'm sorry. Yeah, this will probably suffice, and then I can charge it here. Yeah, that's the wire cutter. So I don't need you anymore. Oh, I'm throwing so many things. And then finally I think we have the file. Neutronium file. So I no longer need the old HSSC file. Bye bye. How fast does this break anyway? Very fast, okay. Wait, hold on, I remember. I need to preemptively make 432 solar panel 6s. Hopefully nothing clashes. Silicon rubber. Let me just make 4,000 silicon rubber then. I need to make 432, which will take a very long time. Yep, 5,100 buckets. Alright, it's fully charged. So I don't need this anymore. The only thing I have to be careful about is not misclicking with any of these, because they mine really quickly. If I remember correctly, to a point where you can break some random stuff really quickly even when flying. Yeah, just insta-break. That's really strong. Alrighty, this is not a very appropriate time to change the solar panels. I mean, I guess it's appropriate, the sun is setting, it's a new day. But whatever. We are going to be changing the solar panel 7, so solar panel 8, all of them, all 144, which is why I also prepared a few spare solar panels, ignore the top there, for solar panel 8. You need 4 each for 1, so this is just a more compact version. And if I show you the recipe, it does need neutronium, and the main headache for me was europium cables, which require polyimide sheets. That's fun, right? So fun. That requires a whole processing chain, which requires no less than 14 LCRs. And the maximum tier of it, if I can just show you the recipe tree here, is UV. Requires the clean room. So that's an extra cleaning maintenance hatch. There's still a pain to make because they take so long. Nitrobenzene I made in a separate section because you need it for this later, for voidic nitride. But other than that, yeah, it was okay. It took me an hour and a half to set up. Then again, I shouldn't be complaining, I'm playing correct tech. Anyways, let's replace all these and request some more so I can fill the entire top of the clean room. Oh, and by the way, the reason why I have this set up is because apparently the reason Solar Flux Reborn is so TPS heavy is because of its energy flow logic, which is apparently crappy, so I have to stick with this for now. Let's do it. Yeah, they stack because there's only 1 and 0. Oh, okay. So that's this. Alright, I am back here again. I have unfortunately done the bulk blast chiller off cam, but it's fine. I will be building this thing, hopefully, if I have enough frostproof aluminium machine casings. If not, I'll just on demand them. It's fine, they don't use the ABS anyway, it's just aluminium. So let's get to building. We have this to start. Alright, that is the full bulk blast chiller. Yeah, it's a really big block, but in exchange, you can do 256 parallels at once. There is an upgrade to this called the Cryostate Quantum Chiller. This is, however, post-Nether, I think. This base 256 parallels. And if I remember correctly, they should be absolute parallels, because the only thing stopping you is the time. This will be amazing for progression, but for now, we can stick with an already amazing version of this. Next up, Rotary Hearth Furnace. If you look at the entire footprint of the Rotary Hearth Furnace, I actually want to do 4. Yeah, 4. The absolute cost. So anyway, I'll plan this out. This is large enough that I think I'll dedicate to the schematic cannon. So I'll go in creative in a separate test world and build the multi-blocks, save the schematic, and I will come back to you when I'm done. I knew it would be huge, but I didn't expect it to be this huge. My game is lagging from rendering all this. Yeah, it instantly drops. Okay. Let me just grab up my clipboard to see all the every single requirement I need. What do I need? Oh, only 1,309 high temperature smelting casings, nothing too much. I was considering showing you everything to set it up, but nah, I was thinking I'll just skip it. So I have some stuff, right? I shifted the LCR over here because this is the size that the RHFs are going to take. Yeah, it's pretty massive. Then I shifted this and upgraded the electric furnace and alloy smelter multi-smelters to 4 each, so it's an octo array. But regardless, I have all of the materials for the 4 RHFs. I've swapped the input bus for stocking input buses. Anyways, let us begin. It's also been a pretty long time. I realized that my blueprint was missing this entire slice, so I had to add that in. But otherwise, it's done. I've set up some of this, and unfortunately, I had a bit of a bug with FTB Ultimine, which caused my pickaxe and drill of any kind to not pick up anything when mining stuff. So I just restarted the game and that fixed it. Oh well. I guess. I mean, that means most of my EBF recipes have been voided, but it's fine. Whenever I need it, I'll just re-add it again. I just added some of the basic stuff. But who knows, there might be more. Anyways, all of our RHFs are being kept in check by a bulk blast chiller. Is it enough? I don't know. I stress tested it with the Quadria, and I couldn't really tell because this thing didn't have limits bypassed. So, oh well. I'm not intending to check it again. But what I can do is the single most cancerous thing pre-Stargate: weapon grade Naquadah foils, which require weapon grade Naquadah. Weapon grade Naquadah is actually faster than the EBF, even with overclock, and because of the whole RHF setup. But I will be getting to UHV, so I can speed this up first. Proc has now been upgraded slightly. I have yet to upgrade the hatches, but they will be soon, don't you worry. Yeah, I've also activated this despite the macerator not keeping up. It's fine, I'll just speed it up. I'll speed everything up. Now that we have the RHF set up, I have set up a separate mixer solely dedicated to do weapon grade Naquadah. I've done a few calculations. You need a total, if I can pull up, you need a total of 1,468 Stargate rods, which requires 52,848 weapon grade Naquadah. And other things you need, like I think 26,424 Neutronium ingots And then there's extra here, 3,810 I think. No idea. I need to go check that one. It's fine. I won't request the whole batch at once. What I will do is craft 1,000 at once and see how long that takes. Yeah. It's not too bad, I guess. Yeah, tetrachloroethylene. Yeah, because I need pure netherite. Let's see how long this takes. That is the molten destabilizer in my possession. Ouch. I have set up most of the infra for it already. It's interesting. One of the hidden requirements is titanium coil blocks. And because I still make them slowly, I just finish it now. One of the reasons I finally get this is because the molten destabilizer itself, 900 seconds. I actually didn't check this. It's fine though, I could just wait. It looks so good. Yeah. It's great. No, it just looks so nice. The molten destabilizer, it's a unique texture that I haven't seen before. Yeah, and it's a custom multi-block as well. So I think what I'm doing next is better nether star looping. So I'll tear down all the stuff there. In fact, I already have. You can see the essence and chances there. And yeah, let's show this first. It's gonna lag a hell, I don't care. We have two different pipe subnets, so import bus into storage bus, feeding the essences down, and then we have an interface with Inferium, because I have... Oh wait, no, I have yet to tear down that one. I will just be relying on this. We have the Imperium, and I'm going to set some mystical greenhouses around here. Autoclaves, all the stuff. Polarizer, yeah. The heat chambers. These have a combined blueprint of 13 by 13. Sorry, one of them has 13 by 13 by 17 dimensions. Meaning, if I go up here, it goes past the second layer of passes because I set 15 blocks between each other. And unfortunately for me, because this requires magmator coil blocks, the super compact heat chamber is unlocked post Abydos, but is only constructible post Nether. I love this game. This is incredibly compact. This is only like 7 by 7 by 6, yeah. This is probably going to constitute the longest wait I will need to take between recordings, because from these 3 towers, it's going to lag, to this, and then the 2 heat chambers here, that is my improved nether star system. I technically do not need the 4 parallel extractors, but it's nice to have them here. So let's walk through. We start from here. The elite mystical greenhouses still take Imperium, but I've just upgraded them from EV to LUV to make them faster. And then this, I am finally using Cryptan. Specifically lithium variant, and hold on, let me clear the sidebar. Lithium variant, and obviously the recycle is over here. Lithium chloride input, Cryptan input, and out comes the 2.2.2 Cryptan lithium infused. Then it goes into first area, macerators. These are EV large macerators, so they are 1 tick. 1 tick, make them as fast as possible. This is in this order for all machines. Blaze, Basalts, Blitz, Blizz. This is the shards. The way you loop past a certain point, nether stars get forged hammered into 5 shards, and then they get energized by a polarizer. This is also the first machine I have, I think, that is oriented sideways, just to fit in with all the stuff. Then some of this powder goes into extractors, then blaze basalts, and then behind is blitz and blizz. into liquid form, and this is where the heat chambers come in. This is going to be the first machine that runs at UEV speeds, because I have combined two of them into one. Number one for space, and number two, I can already split the two of them here, with just a simple dual input hatch. And it goes both ways as well. Only reason I did UEV was because I couldn't wait 2 seconds per. It's like 2.5 each. And they have perfect overclock, so it doesn't matter. Then the energize goes into the 4 autoclaves, which actually are the on-off switches for the farm. They create, well, your different elemental shards, which then go into the forming press at LUV this time. And it is the base one with Algeloy, so perfect overclock. Finally, compressor, Nether SARS. I've kept 32 in stock, so it doesn't burn through all my supply, in case I ever need it. But that's the entire system, and I will run it probably overnight, just to see how much I stock. See you. I've waited for, I think, about a few hours, and this is finally fully self-sufficient. It does produce slowly though. 6 seconds, and it loops 25% bonus, so it's about like 24%, 24 seconds for one. It's fine though, my previous one, it stopped at 3k because I ran out of, I think, charcoal. I was processing all of it. Anyways, time to leave this laggy place. This is now the origin, and for good reason. I've torn down all the AA2 stuff as you see here, and I've also removed my create setup. It's a shame. I actually wanted to play with create vintaged. You have belt grinders, spring coiling machines, compressors, vibrating tables, centrifuge, curving press, health hammer, and lathe. I think they took a book out of, if I remember correctly, TFG, and just added create vintage to port some of the recipes, so it's basically like a quote-unquote create age. The ones I didn't see earlier were like curving press, lathe, as per usual, you can expect. I have also ported all of my stuff and some of the random junk I've accumulated here as well. This is making basalt, because I was also using it for quartered basalt, not just the copper salt columns, but this is using rechiseled process block of iron, connecting obviously. It's fine. Then the 20 requester wall for 100 different requests, although I don't think I'll use all of them. Anyways, I will now make the vibration laser engraver because of one thing. They have added a new block in Ada 2, the current pack version, it updated. And not only is the recipe not locked behind anything post Stargate, the materials cost itself also does not use post Stargate materials. In fact, it is only locked by Void, which is locked by the laser engraver, because the laser engraver is the only way to get echo shots, which are half of Void. So yeah, that's cool. Oh! This is the footprint of the VLE. 17 by 17 by 17. Phenot, I think there are bigger machines, but I'm not too sure actually. It's fine. We still have a long ways to go. Whew, that's a lot of materials. Yeah, I guess I'll just get to building. Just quick side tangent, I think switches and mechanisms done. Yeah, that's the last quest I need to do. That's EV substation hatches. Power before I make this the component part assembly. Just to show you, I'm still making like 78 mil EU per tick, but obviously it might not be enough at some point in time, so I will upgrade my power, and I have built the Supreme Plasma Turbine already. Pretty insane that this is the max EU per tick I can run, which is max tier. It is 4096 amps, so I didn't really calculate, but yeah. I've torn down pretty much all of this, with the exception of tungsten line here, which I will move probably. Yeah, because this is just tungstate, but I want to set a separate line for tungsten disulfide. This is my first time making ore processing plant. Then some of the Imperium here will be diverted here for Supremium, just so I can use it. Then we are going to rely on mystical agriculture again. I have some tungsten essence set down there. I've also upgraded all of them to ZPM, you can see. And yeah, but I don't think I'll talk too much. Just finish on cleaning this up and then starting on everything I need to do. I'll see you in a bit. Alright, so I have my I haven't recorded at all like yesterday. This is like the next day from, I think, the clip where I finally finished the futuristic mechanism sub-chapter, but yeah. I should... okay. I'm making tungsten disulfide and I'm currently stocking it. Let me rant a bit here. This entire process makes 432 millibuckets of tungsten disulfide every 7 ticks, okay? In order to satisfy the Supreme Plasma Turbine's requirement of 5,000 buckets, you would need 1.38 buckets. Let me just run to 1.4. And my current production makes only 1.2 buckets. So not too bad, right? I lose like 200 millibuckets every second, but you know, being an hour, it scales. If this and that recipe were just 1 tick shorter, I would have run a surplus, but no. I am 556 buckets short every hour, and if the recipes were 1 tick shorter, 6 ticks, that would be a 183 bucket profit. I didn't even know game balance could be done this way, but it's interesting. Also, if you overclock to UIV, then everything here becomes 7 times more efficient. Which means that I'll have to start upgrading this section. This, by the way, is Supremium, and then this is all the recycling, the Krypton. This is sodium infused Krypton, by the way. I tried to recycle this, turns out it's insufficient and you just have to pump in oxygen from time to time. I don't really bother. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to have to upgrade this. This will just be a bottleneck if this is 7 times faster, I reckon. It's fine. When it comes time to breach post-Abbey, then I'll probably upgrade it. But I'll just let it build up, I guess, to 60k buckets, so I can run it for about 100 hours comfortably. Alright, I have changed the polyimide line, but mostly because I have 5 blocks of space here, so I can do whatever I want. But the chain collapses with 2 chemical plants to something a lot more bearable. The chain here has been shortened by 1 chemical plant, and the 3-step process has been collapsed to 1. You now only need 8 different machines instead. You see 1, 2, this is the same one, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's 8 machines instead of the usual 13. This is, I guess it's great for TPS still, but I've kept everything at UV. And I will still let my polyamic acid chemical reactor be the main bottleneck, just to make sure everything doesn't trip up. I think the only thing I'll do is overclock to UH3 and leave the system at that. It is fine as is. Alright, it is the next day again. Oh my god, this thing takes so long. I'm setting up 16 component assembly lines. I've yet to finish them, because component assembly lines, if component part assemblies, I just call them component assembly lines. Anyway, they all take an ultimate assembler and this, and holy, if I could show you the Neutronium cost. Oh my god. 187 buckets. I buffered like 500 and it's still not enough. Oh well. I'm also starting half of the Nether Star concentrate requirement. This is still really slow. I'm thankful I can do it now. But I think it should be fine. I'll set up all of this. I'll do all my component part assemblies. I'll finish the data banks, which by the way I'm quad sharing the data reception hatch, and then I'll come back to you when I'm actually finally done. Recording this because I didn't record my mic, but whatever. I finished the component part assemblies here, and as you can see, I am not sharing the data reception hatches because you can't share them. But the component part assembly lines, other than that, were pretty much okay and good to go. The only weird thing was that I couldn't use Tom's because Tom's inventory connector must extend 15 blocks in any direction when it comes to connected inventory, so had to go the old A2 way, and thankfully it takes a maximum of 8 channels per assembly, so everything's fine now. Alright, I've set some of the quantum compressors so that I can finally start making some singularities. There's one on extraction mode, and then there's another one on infusion mode. Now, the 3 liquids I'm going to use are, blocks are tantalum, bismuth, and beryllium. You can use ruthenium and uranium, but keep in mind, ruthenium is a plant line product, and for me, I just don't have a stockpile of uranium. That being said though, their purpose pretty much resides in singularities and runic engraved platings, which are only required for the Stargate, so I will only make it then, and only then. Oh, I realized my mic was muted. Oh well. As if this wasn't painful enough already. First it was quicklime, right? Because I need calcite dust in this, which sure, whatever. I thought I couldn't make it in a chemical reactor, and then it turns out I could, so there's that. And then came silicon dioxide, which thank god I have flint passive still. 14 machines for 1 bucket of runic convergence solution. Well, at least it's all at ZPM, I think. Yeah, all the important steps are at ZPM. Just need to see which one is gating anything. Nope, all of them seem to be at 10 seconds, so vertical integration should be pretty easy. Oh, I forgot to silence all of them. Never mind, I'll just explain this first. So, this is the runic convergence infusion setup, mixer, chemical plant. This is the first thing that uses advanced chemical synthesis mode, and 6 LCRs, plus there are 6 more machines, there are 6 more machines for 3 different products I need: hydrofluoric acid, silicon dioxide, and calcium hydroxide here. I got 3 different sanity checks while doing this machine. The first 2 were the quicklime, which I needed for the calcium hydroxide, and for silicon dioxide. I thought I didn't have access to this too. Then I remembered I had flint dust and I could make calcite. The third one is I saw the ZPM. I forgot that you could only use large chemical reactors. So I made 7 ZPM single block chemical reactors. And then I had to shift all of them. It's fine. All of them have their inputs, and I thought they would all vertically integrate, but no. As it turns out, the netherite trisulfide complex, I actually should have read the quest book more, splits twice. And both take 10 seconds. So this actually just cycles between the 2 different chains down here. And which means I make 1 bucket of runic convergence solution every 20 seconds, not 10. It's fine though, you don't really consume a lot of this very quickly, plus the entire line's ZPM, so I think I only use about a couple amps of UV. It'll be fine though. Surely. Oh yeah, as for why I've left the space, I am intending to make cupric chloride as a passive in my spare time. If I show you the chemical plant, I think that would probably be the last passive I do pre-Stargate, unless there are more I want to do, like maybe, let's see, oh yeah, polyether ether ketone. I don't use it for anything much anyway, so I don't know, I can let it be. You don't even use iron 3 chloride for anything. Yeah, sure, you can do Radaway, but Radaway is completely useless. Never mind. You use it in True Abyss. Okay. That is end content though, the True Abyss, so I don't have to deal with it for a very long time. Yeah, I'll just do cupric chloride and probably peak. I have the super pressure heat chamber done. I did not realize my 4 amp energy converters use toluene, but yeah, I have to stop my nether stars for a bit because they consume a lot of it for TNT. It's a shame though that it uses a lot of toluene for gel toluene. It's fine. I have no intentions of using anything other than TNT anyway. But we have this now, and the only purpose for us right now is to turn crude Stargate rods into Stargate rods. That's it. How does one make crude? Oh yeah, the rotor machine. I need to make that. And I don't think I've designated enough space here. Hopefully I can fit a 9x9 machine by just taking a chunk out of this section, but I don't know. This is 5, then 6, 7, 8, 9, yeah. Large rotor machine I have here, and practically its only purpose is to make Stargate rods. I think this is one of the first few where I will use stocking input buses, purely because of the weird and complex shape I need to get them in. And then the 2 fluids I'll add in that way as well, yeah. I'll build the large rotor machine, and then I'll showcase, I guess, most of the multi-blocks. There's still some, like the runic circuitry assembly station and the dimensional finder that I have to make, but other than that, nothing else stands in my way, really. Okay, I've done some interesting things. First of all, 64 amp energy converters on all 8 sites so I can just minimize the number of flux points I use. I've done this for the Mark 1 section and the Mark 3 section, but not Mark 2s, because I intend to scale all of them with wall share. I think I'm going to run into a point where I'm gonna use at least 2 reactors per item. I think it'll just be a good strategy going forward. Not only am I able to wall share, it's just double speed. And until I get auxiliary reactors, which I will set on a different section of the same place, probably. Yeah, just hollow out one space for Mark 1s and Mark 2s. Mark 4s might stay here, but this may probably just stay as legacy multis. They may not serve much use after auxiliary 1. Okay. I have upgraded all of them. It's interesting that my game was lagging a bit even when I wasn't recording OBS, but I guess one of them is just that OBS uses resources by default, and I was also playing some stuff in the background, so I guess that's that. The two of them will definitely speed up some progress on some stuff, and who knows, maybe I could make Radon slightly faster with the 6 array. I think that should be all I need until Abydos. Lutetium I can on demand, it should be fine. Ah, the Drac Ion Runic Wave Generator. Interesting. You only use it in 3 different recipes. The Shrub Laser Beam Concentrator and emitter-capable Stellarium casing. The Keelgraver Manipulator and Accuencentrator, capable Runicalium casing. And the Ultra Purple Powered Core and Draconic Designation Ready Infusion casing. That's cool. Yeah, Laser Inscribement Core casings. That's... Wait, where do you use this? Ah, Infusion Array. I think next up we should be able to make SIT Sharp Laser Beam Concentrator and emitter-capable Stellarium casing. Nice. The Sharp Laser Beam Concentrator and emitter-capable Stellarium casing. How have I mispronounced it for the 3rd time? And yeah. It looks like a field gen if you ask me, from the spikes coming out of the sides. But this is only used in one multi-block, the Runed Circuitry Assembly Station, the second last Stargate multi-block I'm going to have to make. Dragon Steel Glass. Where do you use... Oh. In the middle, stupid me. Structurally integral Stellarium casings. Why would it need glowstone? And a whole slew of other materials. We have that. An egregious recipe, but whatever. What I am here for is this. This stuff. This is also the reason why I want a passive runic convergence infusion. If you overclock this, it doesn't really affect the RCI consumption, so that will be how that is. But obviously, the more you try to preserve these special singularities, the more RCI you take. It's interesting. Yeah, I guess that's a second reason why I wanted to passive them. Okay, the Runic Circuitry Assembly Station was done. I spent so long looking for things that I was missing, like high power casings and such, but it's fine. The grievance is over. This thing will be interesting because these singularities, what I can do with them. Percentage chance stuff. We'll see how this goes. Probably will just insert the singularities on my own according to the circuit, but yeah. This will probably be how it goes. this is the final, the final multi-block before the Stargate, and has a footprint of 21 by 25. I'm not sure about its height. It's probably like 15 or something. 15, so 21 by 25 by 15. And this is the hologram. This amazing behemoth of just space inefficiency that can construct my Stargate components. Where I'm going to put the Stargate will probably be somewhere here. I'll just designate a space for one Stargate and then the two other ancient Stargates right next to them. Maybe I could put them here, but I don't know. Might not be that good for aesthetics in the long run, especially because PSG will be coming around soon. Also, that's it. The rest of them lie in my hands. The classic Stargate ring block, the classic Stargate base block, the classic Stargate chevron block, and obviously it needs the chevron disk and the classic encoded computational unit. Just gonna claim that quest. Then obviously there are things like the dimensional finder. And holy sh, is this interesting. I only need 2, I think. That should be all, and this will take a very, very long time. 3,094 stellarium ingots. And I don't make a lot at once. This will be fun. I think this is the last block. That was anticlimactic. Yeah, I placed the auto maintenance hatch here, output, stocking inputs, and both are set this. I'm going to need an wireless interface here. Yeah, just put it here so it doesn't clash with the ME drive. I've also decided to put the foyer energy hatch here, just to make it look more aesthetically pleasing. We can hide it here. And yeah, the machine will run at UEV speeds. I guess it'll be fast enough. It'll be very laggy, I don't care. I just want to show you this. This is the tree synthesizer. It's an improved version of the greenhouse ever since they nerfed it to no longer give perfect overclocks. The other version, the hydroponic greenhouse, I think that's what it's called. Yeah, the hydroponic green garden, sorry, is also very large. This is... oh, it's 14 by 9 by 6, and it does use tiled phytosoil from thermal. That's interesting. Yeah, that's pretty large. This one, however, is 9 by 9 by 12, so it nearly scrapes the second floor of my passives. Anyway, let's turn it on. 7 seconds for 4,000 overclocks. For that reason, I have put an output bus, ME output bus here, because I think that's the only one that can sustain the tree greenhouse for all its parallels. Because it makes a stack of overclocks every cycle. And yeah, I don't really use that much, but just in case, I've just slapped the mega box storage cell. I might limit it to 1 mil and then overflow destroy, but whatever, I don't care. Just hold all the overclocks I need until the end of time, I guess. That is polyether ether ketone passive. It's a UEV process. Thankfully, it uses only as much as that's like, I think 1 point something UHVMs, which is very nice. I don't like randomly drain my energy or whatever. But the thing I've done here is a little bit interesting. I have a quadruple output hatch here, which can somewhat bite me in the bum, because if this overflows, then peak will just flow in here, but thankfully you can filter stuff, so it should be fine. Then yeah, it just sends here if ever it overflows. But I don't know. Yeah, I probably will, like pre-Stargate. By the way, oh sorry, buggy mess. If I were to craft every single Stargate rod I need for the Stargate right away, that's just a side consequence of lacking so much stuff. And this radon I need to craft as well. It's fine. So long as I don't take too much tritanium. Yeah. It's not too bad, I don't think. Yeah. So long as I keep my americium passive, it should be alright. My 20,000 buckets each. That's just filling my super tank in a little bit more. 138,000 a quadri, that's more than I have. There is one last multi that I need for the Stargate, being for this, the dimensional finder, and I haven't made it yet. So I can make it now. I've set up a dedicated space here. This is just temporary because the dimensional finder is completely single use. It does one thing and nothing else. That's it. After that, you just shift it to Abydos, and it will be the permanent location for the dimensional finder. Yeah. Just before I finish completing the molten destabilizer. No, this is the dimensional finder. This is just the bare bones structure of it without the HSSC outline, which, by the way, why does this look like a pagoda? Just curious. But the rest should be pretty easy though. Yeah, it's just a box frame, some extra stickings, and some trinicodyl frames. That's it. Hold on. Let's go gambling! Let's see.
Aw, dang it! Aw, dang it! Aw, dang it! Aw, dang it! Aw, dang it!
I just realized I recorded, but it's fine. I haven't claimed the quest yet anyway, so I'll just show you me claiming the quest. But that is my classic encoded computational unit done. This is 2 users, one I can't do, and one I can do, but that and now the final task begins. To collect everything to make the Stargate. I can make this and this independently, so let's do that. Classic Stargate ring base block. I have the WGN needed. Just the echo fluid, some of the void, and it should be okay. And then the 9 blocks. I'm missing nether stars. Oh my god. I just have to wait, I guess. Oh my god, I wasn't recording. Jeez. Oh, I just recorded me making the classic Stargate chevron blocks. Oh, and by the way, the only reason why I'm making them one by one, I'm still missing nether stars. That's so fun. Anyways, I should be doing classic DHD and the crystal interface. Where is it? The crystal interface. Cool. Cool. Very cool. Also, I found this. It's used to make the austenitic stainless steel 304 nuclear casings. I'm guessing they're a hot mode recipe. For some either hard mode thing or something deprecated. I have no clue. Oh my god, what the hell is this recipe time? That's like 16 and a half minutes, Jesus. Let me check that again. Is that even correct? Crystal interface. Yeah. Why do you need 4,200 seconds for a simple interface? I think I should finally have enough nether stars. It's been 2 days. So that I can make the 14 Stargate ring blocks and finally finish this damn project. Okay. The 14 Stargate ring blocks are in crafting. There we are. Alright, I think it would be a little bit wise to talk about this pack as a whole. I will be returning, let's just say this here, but I'm definitely going to be switching to a different channel because I don't think I will use this one. Anyways, that's personal reasons. Anyways, just the pack in general, I'm just going to give you a brief summary, but unfortunately it won't be that comprehensive because I've played through many different versions, but you know, I can't give feedback on the Steam machines because they were added after my time, same for the latex plantation. But it should be fine for the most part. Jungle rubber was never really a bottleneck, more so than the primitive ore factory. I know they massively nerfed the steam ore factory later on by insanely increasing its steam production. I think they doubled it, so it's not that viable anymore. and I really wish they would change that. But other than that, the quest book was pretty good, honestly. There were some changes here and there. Yeah. And I've actually seen, like, yeah, upgrade can be lost or death or relock in some instances. If I go through Abydos, this can bug out. So I would recommend them find a mod that isn't effortless building if they can find one. Maybe, who knows. The oil cracking was never necessarily a good thing. You can. Okay, thankfully they actually tell you about it now. This should accept substation hatches from all tiers, not just EV. My first substation hatch, if you can recall, was LUV, and I had to go back and make this just to complete the page, which is a bit annoying, but you know. I've also seen some complaints about ZPM being too short, and honestly, I somewhat agree. Not much else. Yeah. I hope that when they get into the pack, when I come back again, expanded AE will fully be integrated in. Oh, this is hidden, by the way. I just had to complete the quest because I thought they weren't completing for that reason, but I really just do not see where I'm not finishing. If you're interested, it's like this. Yeah. There's a shop which I haven't used. I've only used it for the jet boots. This. And that was pretty much it. I've never used this. Only these two as well. Yeah. For the most part, it just encourages you to venture on your own, I guess. But most of the, I guess, quote-unquote fun content rests in the later part. Except this. I don't want to... I don't think I will enjoy this if I ever come back. How many steps is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 steps for one ingot, and then you have to repeat it the other way. Then there's the Quada, Skulk, all that stuff. There's Taltadine, Isovol, Calamantium, and it splits here. Stop. Holy. Oh my gosh. I think this is a pretty good introduction to Practech mod packs. Then of course there's Moni and Nomi Factory if you really want to play the two of them as well. But I don't know, maybe I'll play them at a later time. Let's finish the Stargate. And that is the 14 classic Stargate ring blocks, which completes the final task, the Stargate. Wait, I have this. Can do this. This just teleports you back. And yeah, let's finish the Stargate. It's here. It's a quest. Optional, but still a quest. And now... and finally, we can enter the Stargate. Please. exploration. The sands are unforgiving. With that, let us proceed. Huh. That's interesting. Cool. I'm in yet another skyblock. Okay. Welcome. Alright, we're going to have a fun time. Whew. New pack, new mindset, same goal, to reach the end.